Well, this is a bit awkward. Well, after my very long break, it's time to start doing more reviews. So, hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be reviewing Super Mario Galaxy, which was released in 2007, made by Nintendo and for the Nintendo Wii. Now, when this game released, it sold a billion gazillion copies. Literally, a lot of people fell in love with this game, and for good reason. You've got Mario, obviously, the main character. You've got basically a lot of other things, but also it kind of took its inspiration from Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Reason being because it's a lot of the elements of the game are kind of like that one. Like this one is like the Mario 64. And I think it kind of goes its own way as well as doing a lot of things. So basically, the main story of the game is that, like in Mario 64, Mario is sent a letter from Princess Peach and is asked to come to see the Star Festival. And Mario goes, but then Bowser attacks, like every other game. Like we know this already. So, but instead of like just Bowser taking over the castle, he brings in a UFO. Like, that is amazing, because he brings a UFO and just takes the entire castle, like, lasers the entire ground around the castle, and just takes it off, takes it into space. And that is awesome, because we haven't seen something like that in years, unless it's like Mario Odyssey or 3D World. I don't know. That's kind of ingenious of him. So Mario goes after him because it's Mario. He always trying to beat Bowser and everything, but it's interrupted by Kamek, and who shoots him into space, and he meets this space bunny thing on a different planet, and then he plays a game of hide and seek with two other star bunnies, which happen to be Lumas, which are basically stars with eyes. Yeah, they're basically stars with eyes. And they tell him that Mario to meet his mum, their mum, which is this space cosmic goddess called Rosalina. It's kind of complicated, but I'll get to that into a bit later. And she tells Mario that he has to find Peach and Bowser, so Mario can save Peach, that stuff. And he then finds this star, which is being drained of all its power, called a Grand Star. That I'll get into later in the review. Now, what I like about the game is that Mario is set in space, and there are a lot of nice, unique elements in the game. For example, Mario gets a new power-up ability thing, which is a spin attack. Kind of like in the Legend of Zelda, how Link has his spin attack, but this is very much different. For example, in this game, you're given a Luma to be given your ability, whereas in the Legend of Zelda, you can just do it whenever. And you can only use it once. You can use it multiple times, but you can only use it like in a few seconds. So I think it's about like 5 seconds, a 5-second delay or gap, and when you can use the next spin attack. And I really like the spin attack because you can use it for multiple uses. So you can like use it to knock out enemies, to take out lamps, fire lamps, and use it to be launched onto different galaxies and universes by the use of a launch star or sling star. Now, the Grand Star that you find being drained is the very first star you ever collect in the game, and you'll be taken to the Comet Observatory, which is where Rosalina is, and she tells you have to find and collect stars from different galaxies that Bowser stole, so that you can go and to the center of the universe and find and save Peach. Now, I think this is a very good way of introducing the story and expanding the world of Mario. Now we've got like, instead of having like toads, even though there are toads in the game, but aren't like, your princess is another castle type thing. You've got Lumas, you've got a big world, well, hub world, overworld thing, which I quite like. Now, here's some gameplay of me just talking about the gameplay now. So as you can see, I'm in front of one of the domes in the hub world, and this particular one is called the Terrace. And they all have names, so you've got the library, the bedroom, the kitchen, the garden, and the fountain as well, I think. And they all contain different worlds, or galaxies. And you've got your two main ones, and which basically have 6 stars in each. You've got these ones, which might have like 1 or 2 stars, and you've got the boss one, which holds a ground star. Now you need a ground star in order to power up the ship and be able to get to the center of the galaxy. Now with this galaxy and the other galaxy and several other galaxies and the other domes, you have 6 stars in each. You've got the 3 main ones, the secret one, and the 2 cosmic ones. Now the cosmic ones have different variations of different things. So you might have to be collecting purple coins, fighting against a cosmic version of yourself, just like these ones. And that's your secret one. And also Luigi's in this game, but he can only give certain stars, or like you can give certain yellow stars and certain green stars. Now the green stars that you get, there are only 3 in total, which are these ones, and they give you this small planet over here, which I quite like because, you know, they give you an extra challenge of galaxies you already might have played or something like that. Now with in some of the galaxies, you can have different power-ups. For example, this is the first galaxy in which you get a power-up, I think, maybe, yeah. And this one is the bee mushroom, and this is probably one of my favourite power-ups because you basically become a bee, and but you've got limited fly around, and yeah. But these guys always give you damage and fly towards you if you do become the Mario. The main problem with it is that you can't go through honey very well if you're on the ground, because I don't know. Don't ask me why. It would have been cool if there would be like, if Mario was able to walk in honey if it was on the ground. And that kind of like confuses me, because if you go to... The reason why it confuses me why Mario can't walk on honey on the floors, because you can obviously climb it fine if it's on a wall. So I don't know why, that just kind of bothers me. Now the bosses in this game I quite enjoy. They vary from having Bowser to a giant robot that basically is bigger than an entire planet. And what I like about these boss fights is that you have to use various ways in order to defeat them. For example, if you're one of the first bosses for Grand Star that you face is Megaleg, which is the boss that's bigger than an entire planet. And the way you have to defeat it is go up it all Shadow of the Colossus style. And for Bowser, it's basically, every time you fight Bowser, it's pretty much the same. And what I mean by that is that Bowser will will do sort of ground pound sort of move, which will create shockwaves, and he'll run towards Mario and he'll try and like he'll do like a sort of like flip and then go straight towards the ground where Mario is, and you have to try and hit him on these blue, make him hit these blue circle pod thingies that are covered in lava, and they'll make his tail go in the lava, which will make him run around, and then you have to hit him to make him go into like the spinning part, and it kind of like and you have to do this like multiple times, and you have to face him this is the same way in different boss fights around the game and stuff. And it kind of reminds me of the boss fights from Mario 64, even though instead of having Bowser jumping up and hitting onto blue circle pod thingies, you have to make Bowser hit these mines, and that kind of like reminds me of that, sort of. If you play Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64 or its DS remake, then you'll probably know what I'm talking about. So yeah, and also once you've collected 120 stars, you can also unlock a second playthrough, but this time as Luigi. Now for Luigi, he works as differently as for Mario. With Mario, his movements are normal when you play them, as they have been in other Mario games. But for Luigi, they have been. He jumps a bit higher, and when you stop, his stop movement is a bit more slippery than Mario's, because for Mario, he just comes to a complete stop when he stops and that sort of thing. And for the galaxies, they are really, really enjoyable. None of them feels repeated, even though there are two galaxies that are basically the same, but with a palette swap. They're basically one's basically green and full of life, and one's sort of like the other one's in the autumn time, so everything's like the leaves are falling from the trees. There are like budgets of leaves, that sort of thing. And yeah, and for the final boss fight, it's basically you against Bowser. Now, when you get to Bowser, you see Peach, Bowser Jr. and Bowser. Now, the fight is basically you against Bowser. Now, I would have liked it if you could have faced Bowser Jr., but you don't need to face Bowser. And towards the end, when you defeat Bowser the final time, you create a sort of big bang, which makes the universe again, I think. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but yeah. And so yeah, that's basically my review for Mario Galaxy. Now tomorrow I will be reviewing its sequel, so yeah. And I hope you enjoyed that review. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.